Be me. 25-year-old feminist, have amazing guy friend named Alex for 3 years now. I'm social media manager making 45K. He's accountant making 68K year. Met at mutual friends party and clicked immediately, great conversation connection. Became best friends, hang out multiple times. Week text, everyday close. He's funny, kind, smart, and actually listens when I talk about things rare. Never thought of him romantically. At first just really good friend only. But over past years started developing feelings for him, more than friendship. Notice how he makes me laugh, how comfortable I am around him, different. He's single. I'm single, we spend so much time together, seems perfect match. Start noticing little things like how he smiles at me or remembers details. He brings me coffee without asking. Knows my order perfectly every time. Watches movies I recommend and discusses them with me, engaged and interested. Tells me about his problems and asks for advice, trusts me completely. Start thinking, maybe he has feelings too and just hasn't said anything yet. My friends say we'd be perfect together and ask why we're not dating. Tell them I don't know. Maybe waiting for right moment to happen naturally. Decide I need to tell him how I feel. Can't keep it inside anymore. Plan to tell him this weekend when we hang out at his place movie night. Feel nervous but excited about finally telling him my feelings confession. Friday comes and I go to his apartment for movie night like usual. We order pizza, watch movie, and I'm working up courage to tell him. During movie, I keep correcting the problematic parts out loud, can't help it. Point out the sexist dialogue and male gaze cinematography issues throughout. He pauses movie and says, "Can we just watch without analyzing tonight, please?" Tell him I can't just ignore the misogyny on screen. It's everywhere obvious. He sighs and says, "Okay," and unpauses but seems less engaged now, withdrawn. After movie ends, I tell him I need to talk about something important. He says, "Sure, what's up?" and I take deep breath and tell him, "Have feelings. Say I've been feeling this way for months and think we'd be great together." He goes quiet for really long time, just staring at floor, thinking, processing. Finally says he cares about me a lot, but only as friend, nothing more. Feel heart sink and ask him, why not what's wrong with me as option? He says nothing is wrong. I'm amazing person, just not what he's looking for. Ask him to explain what he means by that, specifically need to understand why. He hesitates and says he doesn't want to hurt my feelings by being honest. Tell him I need honesty even if it hurts, need to know the real reason. He takes deep breath and says, "Okay, I'll be completely honest with you." Tells me I'm perfect friend, but he could never date someone like me ever. Ask him, what does someone like me mean, exactly what's wrong with me? He says every time we watch movie or show, I critique it, constantly analyzing. Mentions that I correct him when he says things I find problematic always. Points out that I lecture him about social issues whenever they come up. Says that every conversation eventually becomes about feminism or politics heavy. Tells me he feels like he's walking on eggshells around me, constantly careful. Mentions he can't just relax and have fun without being educated on something. Says that I make him feel stupid or ignorant whenever he doesn't know things. Tells me his opinions are never good enough, always need correcting wrong somehow. Mentions that I've criticized every girl he's dated in the past, harshly judged. Says now realizes I was probably jealous, but it made him uncomfortable then. Feel defensive and tell him I was just pointing out red flags helping. He says, "But you found red flags in every single girl I showed interest in." Tells me you said one was too feminine, another was too traditional, career-driven. Mentions you called one a pick-me girl for liking traditionally feminine things. Says you told me one wasn't feminist enough and wouldn't challenge me intellectually. Points out that no woman was ever good enough in my eyes, too critical always. Ask him if he's saying I'm too feminist for him. Is that the problem? He says it's not about being feminist. It's about how you express it constantly. Tells me every single thing becomes a lesson or lecture. Never just casual fun. Says he wants girlfriend. He can relax with not one who corrects him constantly. Tell him that's unfair. I'm just passionate about important issues that matter. He says he knows, but passion becomes exhausting when it's directed at him always. Mentions that I've made him feel bad about things he enjoys multiple times. Says I criticized his favorite movies, his music, taste, his hobbies. Everything really. Tells me I made him feel guilty for liking sports, called it toxic masculinity. Points out that I rolled my eyes when he talked about video games, dismissed. Says I judge his friends and family for not being progressive enough standards. Mentions that his mom felt uncomfortable after I lectured her at dinner. Awkward. Tells me his sister said I was intense and judgmental after meeting me once. Realize his whole family and friends think I'm too much for him. Overwhelming. Ask him, so I'm too much. Is that what you're saying about me exactly? He says in relationship, yes, but as friend, I can handle it in doses. Tells me when we hang out few times. Week it's fine, manageable, enjoyable. Says, but dating means spending way more time together, everyday exposure. Mentions he doesn't think he could handle being corrected and lectured daily, constant. Says he needs partner who can just be easy and fun. Sometimes not always serious. Tell him relationships should challenge you to grow and be a better person. He says yes, but also should be a place where you feel accepted and comfortable. Tells me he doesn't feel like he could ever fully relax around me as girlfriend. Says he'd always be worried about saying or doing something you'd criticize wrong, feel tears forming, and ask if I'm really that bad to be around honestly. He says no. As friend, you're amazing, but dating is different. Dynamic completely. Tells me he's watched me in relationships before and seen the patterns clear. Mentions my ex-boyfriends all looked exhausted and stressed near the end, tired. Says they all seemed like they were constantly being graded on their behavior. Points out that you posted multiple times about training your boyfriend better. Tells me that's not what relationships should be about, controlling and fixing. Says he wants girlfriend who accepts him, not one who wants to fix him. Mention that I just wanted them to be better versions of themselves, growth. He says, but they probably liked who they already were before you changed them. Ask him what kind of girl he wants then, if not me. Curious now. He says someone who can laugh at dumb jokes without analyzing them first. Tells me someone who doesn't turn every movie into a film, studies lecture fun. Mentions someone who lets him enjoy things without making him feel guilty about. Says someone who doesn't need to be right all the time, about everything always. Tells me someone his family and friends feel comfortable around, not judged by. Says someone who sees his flaws and accepts them instead of trying to fix. Mentions someone who can have lighthearted fun without making it educational moment. Tells me basically someone easier and less intense than you are with me. Feel completely destroyed because he's describing everything I'm not, opposite of me. Tell him those girls sound boring and not intellectually stimulating at all, shallow. He says, or maybe they're just comfortable being themselves without constant judgment. Tells me not everyone wants to debate social issues during every casual conversation. Says some people just want to enjoy life without analyzing everything constantly. Mention that sounds like ignorance is bliss mentality, avoiding important issues. He says, or it's just called being happy and not exhausting yourself and others. Tell him, I can't believe he wants someone less intelligent and aware than me. He says, intelligence isn't the issue, it's how you use it to judge everyone. Tells me smartest people he knows are kind and humble, not correcting everyone always. Realize he's saying, I use my intelligence as weapon to make others feel small. Ask him if there's any chance he could ever see me differently. Maybe try. He says honestly no, because I know you too well. Already seen everything clearly. Tells me I've watched you lecture waiters about gendered language and menus. Awkward. Mentions you've corrected my grammar in front of my friends, embarrassing me publicly. Says you've made me feel stupid for not knowing things you studied in college, unfair. Tells me you've criticized every gift I've gotten you because not perfect enough. Points out that you judge people constantly for things that don't matter much, really. Says you made my nephew cry once by telling him his toys were gender stereotyped. Mentions you can't just let people exist without giving them feedback constantly on. Tells me that's exhausting in friend and would be unbearable in girlfriend, impossible. Feel completely humiliated and ask why he stayed friends with me. Then honestly, he says, because in small doses, you're funny, smart, and care about things admirable. Tells me you're loyal and supportive when friends need you there for them, always. Mentions you're passionate and intelligent, and those are good qualities, have value. Says, but those same qualities become overwhelming in romantic relationship, different dynamic. Tells me he needs space from the intensity, and as friend, he gets that balance. Says, if you were girlfriend, he'd have no escape from constant correction and judgment. Mentions he values our friendship, but could never handle dating version of that. Tell him so, I'm good enough to be around sometimes, but not all the time. He says that's not what I'm saying, but yes, essentially you're right about that. Start crying and tell him this is most hurtful thing anyone's ever said. Brutal. He says he didn't want to hurt me, but I asked for complete honesty. Truth tells me he hopes I can understand where he's coming from, his perspective shown. Says maybe someday I'll find someone who appreciates those qualities in partner. But he's not that person, and pretending otherwise would be unfair to both dishonest. Ask him if he thinks I'll ever find someone who wants to date me. He's quiet for a long time, then says, honestly, I don't know. Maybe depends. Tells me I'd have to be willing to let people be themselves without fixing them. Says I'd have to accept that not everything needs to be lesson or debate sometimes. Mentions I'd have to stop correcting and judging partner constantly for small things. Tells me basically I'd have to be less like how you are now, different person. Leave his apartment crying and feeling completely destroyed by conversation. Brutal truth. Realize that guy I've had feelings for thinks I'm too exhausting to date nightmare. Understand that he sees me as good friend, but terrible girlfriend material, never. Spend weekend crying and replaying everything he said over and over in mind. Start thinking about my past relationships and how they all ended similarly pattern. Remember how my ex said he felt like he could never do anything right constantly. Recall another ex saying he was tired of being educated all the time. Exhausted. Realize that multiple guys have told me similar things, but I dismissed them wrong. Talk to my best friend about what happened, and she's sympathetic but honest too. Tells me she loves me, but I can be a lot. Sometimes intensity is overwhelming. Says she's noticed that I correct people constantly, even when not necessary. Mentions that I make people feel judged for enjoying things I don't approve. Asks me why it's so important that everyone thinks and acts exactly like me. Sit there unable to answer because I never thought of it that way before. Realize I do think my way is right way, and everyone else needs education. Understand that I've been making people feel small and stupid without realizing. Friend tells me Alex is good guy for being honest, even though it hurt truth. Says most guys would just make up excuse, but he told me real reason why. Month later, see Alex with new girl at coffee shop together, clearly dating. She's laughing at something. He said genuine smile looks relaxed and happy. Notice she's wearing makeup and feminine dress I would have called oppressive before. They look comfortable together. No tension or walking on eggshells, just easy natural. Watch how she touches his arm and smiles at him warmly, affectionate and sweet. He looks happier than I've ever seen him. Relaxed and at ease, completely comfortable. Realize she's giving him something I couldn't acceptance without judgment or correction. She's not analyzing or critiquing or lecturing, just enjoying his company, present. Feel jealous, but also understand why he chose her over me, clearly better fit. She lets him be himself, without trying to fix or improve him, constant project. Later that week, mutual friend tells me Alex is really happy with new girlfriend. Says she's easygoing and fun, and his family loves her, already accepted quickly. Mentions they just enjoy each other without drama or intensity, just compatible naturally. Ask what she's like, and friend says she's normal, just nice girl, nothing special. Feel offended that he chose normal over me, but then realize that's the point exactly. He wanted someone who wouldn't make him feel inadequate or constantly corrected always. Friend mentions that Alex said he can finally relax in relationship for once. Tells me his exact words were, she doesn't make me feel like I'm taking a test. Realize that's what I did to him, and my exes made them feel tested constantly. Understand, I treated relationships like projects to manage, not partnerships to enjoy. 2 months later, and they're getting serious, already posting about each other. She posts about how much she appreciates him and all his little quirks loves. He comments about how easy and natural everything feels with her effortless connection. His friends comment about how great they are together, perfect match made for. His family comments welcoming her and saying how wonderful she is to him. Realize his whole circle has embraced her in weeks while they never warmed to me. Understand it's because she doesn't judge or lecture or try to change anyone. She just accepts people as they are and enjoys spending time with them simply. Meanwhile, I'm alone at 25 because I can't stop correcting everyone around me. Realize I lost chance with guy I really liked because he found me exhausting. Talk to therapist about what happened, and she asks why I need to correct people. Sit there thinking and realize it makes me feel smart and superior to others. Understand, I use my knowledge as weapon to establish dominance in conversations power. Therapist says that pushing people away while claiming moral superiority is defense mechanism. Tells me real confidence doesn't need to make others feel small to feel big. Asks if I've considered that people might not want to be educated all the time. Realize I never gave anyone choice, just forced my views on them constantly always. Therapist suggests that accepting people's differences is more mature than correcting them. Understand that my need to be right about everything cost me relationships multiple. Learn that being good friend is easier than being good girlfriend, requires more acceptance. 6 months later, see they're moving in together, already serious and committed. She posts about how excited she is to live with someone who makes her smile. He posts about finding someone who accepts him, completely flaws and all everything. Comments flood in about relationship goals and how perfect they are together, couple. His mom comments about how she's never seen him this happy before, genuinely joyful. Realize I never made him happy. Like that only stressed and exhausted him constantly. And understand that she succeeded where I failed by simply accepting him as he is. She didn't try to improve or educate or fix him, just loved him completely whole. Meanwhile, I'm still single because every date ends with me correcting something. Realize guys don't want to feel like they're back in school, being graded constantly. Try dating, but keep falling into same patterns. Can't help myself. Automatic response. On date with nice guy, and he makes small grammatical error in conversation. Automatically correct him and see his face fall. Looks embarrassed and small. He doesn't ask for second date, and I understand why. Now clearly see pattern. Another date mentions he likes certain movie, and I explain why it's problematic. He looks uncomfortable, and conversation dies right there. Awkward silence follows. Realize I'm sabotaging myself by needing to be right all the time, constantly. Understand that Alex was right. I am perfect friend, but terrible girlfriend material. Friends can handle me in small doses, but romantic partner needs constant exposure. Nobody wants to be around someone who makes them feel inadequate all the time. Year later, see engagement announcement, Alex proposed to her, already married soon. Ring is beautiful, and she looks so happy in photos, genuine joy radiating from. Caption about marrying best friend, who accepts her completely as she is always. His family comments about gaining wonderful daughter and welcoming her officially family. Realize she became part of his life and family in year while I never did. Understand it's because she's easy to be around while I'm exhausting and intense. She doesn't need to prove she's smartest person in room like I do constantly. She just exists comfortably without analyzing and judging everyone around her naturally. Meanwhile, I'm alone at 26, still correcting people, still pushing them away pattern. Realize I destroyed my chance with Alex by being exactly who I am. Still have feelings for him, but know he'll never see me that way rejected. He found someone who gives him peace while I only gave him stress constantly. Understand that being perfect friend isn't enough when someone is looking for girlfriend. Learned that constant correction and judgment pushes people away, not draws them closer. Realize I value being right more than being loved, and that's why I'm alone. Alex is marrying a woman who accepts him while I'm still trying to fix everyone. Lost him because I couldn't just let him be himself without improvement needed. Now, I'm cautionary tale about woman who was too much work to date. Understand that intelligence and passion can be weapons that hurt people, not help. Learn too late that acceptance is more attractive than constant judgment and correction.